Hello friends, recently I am getting a lot of questions on NRI and agriculture land. I already made a video on this. If you want to watch, you can watch it here. But despite the fact I am getting some questions, and I thought it's better to make another video on NRI and agriculture land and explain certain situations. So in this video I am going to talk about those situations, and those situations will be what if by mistake as an NRI you have already bought an agriculture land, and after that you come to know that it is prohibited in FEMA to buy agricultural land by NRI. What will be solutions? How you can overcome them? These all things I am going to discuss in this video. So let's begin. So friends, it's basically written on wall that as an NRI you should not buy agricultural land. The basic reason behind that, as I told you, NRI is not a citizenship status, it's a tax status. So even a foreigner will be called an NRI if he is going to stay in India for a certain days. For example, this is a status which we talk about for the taxation matter, not for citizenship. Now what happened, why this provision is made that NRI should not buy agricultural land, especially for any purpose? The reason is the government doesn't want that people who are earning a lot of money abroad, they come here, convert their savings in from dollar to rupees and buy all the agricultural land just for speculation purpose, because it will become a disaster, because then the agricultural land will be a matter of speculation, will not be used for the purpose it should be. And India have more than I think 1.32 billion population. If agricultural land are lost, then the basic food will become a problem. So considering that, they prohibited that no foreigners, no NRIs will going to buy agricultural land. But the problem in some cases, either people are not aware or maybe other reasons, they have already bought it and now they are stuck with the land, and now they want what they should do and what will happen if they don't do anything. Now there is no definite answer for this question, because you understand, if you go somewhere and you argue that you didn't know that provision and that's why you done this mistake, this is not an excuse. Not knowing law of a land is not an excuse. You cannot ask that you didn't know and that's why you did this. So the first important part, whenever you're making, first advice I will give you, whenever you're making any big decisions, especially buying a house, property, land, just consult either a legal person, a lawyer or a chartered accountant who know about FEMA, because FEMA is a law which basically governs a lot of things about NRIs, what they can do with their foreign money, what they can't do. So everything is mentioned in FEMA. So somebody who know about FEMA, they should consult. This is a must. And if you consult, you will not make a mistake. Now this is the first case scenario. What if you already made mistake? You already bought agricultural land and you're sitting on that. The thing is, if you after that if you go with some person for consulting or for option, literally there is no options, because see, once some offense is done, you cannot do undone just by doing reversal of it, right? But then there is something called a patch up work. So only any advisor can offer some patch up work. He cannot offer you something which can, you can say, clean up everything. So here I am going to talk some alternate, which definitely will not going to make you clean and everything fine, but at least you can use it if you done it by mistake. So as I told you, first option, always take a consulting from somebody. That is the case. If you do this, the second option, second scenario will not come. But what if you have already done? Then 2-3 things you can do. First thing, if you can do, you should reverse the transaction. That means you should sell back to the buyer from where you bought. At least if in future, suppose you will get a notice or maybe a non-compliance notice from FEMA or from any authority, you can plead that you didn't know, and as soon you come to know, you have reversed this transaction. That's the best case scenario, but let me tell you, this is not practical in most of the cases. The person, generally you bought the property, maybe a farmer, after selling property to you, he might have used the money for some different reason and he doesn't have the money to reverse or to give you back. So that's another question, that even it's the most practical scenario where you can reverse the transaction as soon as possible, but it may not be practical because the other person may not be willing to give you back the money and take back the land. Now what to do after that? Then after that, option I'm giving you is not a legal option. I'm telling you it's not a legally viable options. Already offense is done. So the only thing we are trying to make a situation where you can at least plead that yes, there is an offense done, but as soon as come to know, I basically try to make things right. So maybe in future, if there is any like penalties or maybe some kind of repercussion, you can minimize that. So basically what I'm trying to suggest is a damage control. So second option which you can use is you can gift that land to somebody who is a resident, maybe your relatives, and just ensure that you directly or indirectly you don't get the benefit of that. I know it's very hard decision because you say I have paid the money, how I can gift to somebody, it's not possible, but understand we are doing damage control, right? Maybe your mother or father who are resident, you can gift that money to them, permanent gift. So this way you can try to do things right at least. Third way, you can create a trust, a public trust, and you can transfer that property to trust where the trustees are residents as well. So you can also become part of the trust. There are other trustees also. Make a public trust, not a private or family trust. That will not solve the purpose because private trust is indirectly is your property. So in case suppose your children are Indian residents, you can make a private trust also or family trust also and make them beneficiary. These are the only way where you can just at least ensure that whatever the non-compliance is done, at least some way you can get a chance to plead, right? Because if you keep holding those land, basically your offense is continuing, and then you don't have anything to put together when some notice or some show cause notice is issued to you. Another thing I'm telling you that these things are only definitely you have to consult with the FEMA advisor. These are not solutions. These are not going to like as I told you, these are not going to be whitewash everything, make everything right. But these are the only way once already the offense is done. So 2-3 things you can do: either gift to your parents who are Indian citizen, and just ensure that you are not doing speculation, you are not selling them. As I told you, reversal is possible. If it's possible, it's the best way. Sell back to the same person at the same price. Don't try to make money out of that. Second, if you transfer property to your parents or somebody who is your relative, don't try to sell it immediately, because then you will make some profit and then it will be a case that you are trying to use that property for speculation purpose. Try to hold it as long as, and basically if possible you don't sell it. Third, I told you, is a trust. If suppose you are buying a property for example, say agriculture purpose or promotion of some activity, maybe you want to train people, you want to open a kind of skill development, something like that, you can open. At least you can put a place that okay fine, you're trying to use that land for a purpose other than speculation. So what basically is the biggest no is using that land as a speculation. For example, you start plotting that and selling that land on small chunks. This is speculation. Of course you can say this is a land development, but you know most of cases the plotting is basically used to hike the rate. So if you are not a professional developer, you bought a agricultural land, then you're trying to, another point some people can ask, can I convert that into a non-agricultural land? Will it do everything right? No, it will not do everything right. So basic point is this: first, try to avoid buying an agricultural land if you are a non-resident. Second, if you bought, try to at least put in such a way that you are not using that for speculation purpose. Don't try to make money quickly out of that. Okay, you can, if you have bought that land maybe for your future when you are going to come back as a in India and you want to settle on your farmhouse or maybe on your agricultural land, you can use for that purpose. Even when there is that property is with your parents or somebody, your relative, when you come back to India, that is a different matter. That's how you want to do, and other things are different matter. But only thing, for the timing at least, you have a fighting chance, you have a arguing chance, and you at least can plead and request the other authority that it was a mistake, but as soon as I come to know, I try to fix it. Of course, you cannot fix a done deal, but you can at least explain that your purpose was not to make a speculative profit by selling a agricultural land. If you can prove it, maybe you can get a soft space, and the penalties and other repercussions will be less stinging than in other case if you don't do anything. So hope this solution works somewhere. Try to at least fix something, if not completely, because there is no complete fix when something is done like this. One more thing I'm telling you, lots of people say, oh, I know a lot of people who have done that and nothing happening. See, just because lots of people done that, it doesn't make legally right. It's offense is offense, right? Maybe the action will be taken at a time when the agency or the authority feels fit. So just because a lot of people have done this and they have not got any kind of penalty or any kind of repercussion doesn't make it a legal, and you cannot use that as an argument. Okay, because so many of my relative or people I know have done similar thing. They are NRI, bought agricultural land, I also bought, so what is the offense? Please don't use this argument. This is only going to make things worse. That's all in this video, friends. If you like this video, please share and subscribe. If you have a question related to agricultural land and NRIs, any kind of questions from an NRI perspective for agricultural land, you can put your question in a comment section, and either me or my team will come back and answer this. That's all in this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.